As we sit back and contemplate the Torah reading today, a question emerges that I believe is relevant for most of us, if not all of us. How can I ask for forgiveness when perhaps I am not ready to forgive myself? We just finished reading from Leviticus 16 and learned of the death of Aaron's two sons, who died when they drew too close to the presence of the Lord. After we learned this, the Lord spoke to Moses and said, "Tell your brother Aaron, he is not to come at will into the shrine behind the curtain, in front of the cover that is upon the ark, lest he die. For I appear in the cloud above the cover." The passage continues and continues and continues to tell Moses what Aaron must do to make amends and be safe. Later, the passage describes the law for all times, for all people, us, and what we must do on the 10th day of the same 7th month. You shall observe a sacred occasion when you shall practice self-denial. You shall do no work, and you shall present burnt offerings, etc., etc. Aaron just lost two sons. The Lord didn't begin with, "Please tell your brother I am sorry about his sons." He spoke sternly and directly on what Aaron needed to do to make amends and not die himself. It should not be lost on us that God didn't speak to Aaron directly. He was talking to him through Moses. Did God ever consider that Aaron may not want to or even be ready to do all these things since he just lost his two sons? So again, how are we supposed to ask for forgiveness and make amends when sometimes it's so hard for us to forgive ourselves? Some of us in this community have lost children, like Aaron. Some died due to birth defects, some disease, some drug overdose, and some by sheer accident. Many of us are dealing with other issues with our children. Genetic disorders, like my son Justin, who has Fragile X. Neurological disorders, ADHD, anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, OCD, etc. Some with physical disabilities, cancer, and other awful diseases. Each of us bear the burden to step up to the challenge and face what life has thrown at us. It doesn't need to be child-related. I use that as a guide based on Aaron losing his two sons. But all of us deal with the situation that life throws our way. Most of us are commended and admired by our strength of how we handle our situations by our family and community. These moments help give us strength to carry on, strength to do what is necessary. But what happens in between these moments of strength, the moments in the darkness, where we're all exhausted and incredibly angry? On this day of atonement, as described, we are all required by law to stand in front of God and ask for forgiveness, for we are all responsible for. How do we handle the magnitude of our own situations? To put them aside and focus on the task at hand, when we just want to say, "Why me? Why now?" when we are so confused by it all, or are weak or at our weakest? Well, for me, I have to think sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just don't have the strength. Not enough time has passed. You can't seem to see what's in front of you, and you know what? It's okay. It has to be okay. I have to think God sees past these moments, sees deep into our hearts and our souls, and knows that you are hurting, knows of your positive intent, and wraps their arms around you and walks down your path with you. They say time heals all wounds. Perhaps some things we may never get over. But on this day, if you are hurting or angry or sad, let us all come together, support and help each other in our community with empathy and sincerity. This way, we can help us all get through anything one day at a time. May this year bring each of you health, happiness, and peace. Shana Tova.